Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, it was picking you up last night fine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It may just be that it's picking your voice. I don't know. Um,
It's like a loop.
yeah, talk for a sec. I wonder if it hears your voice from
All
your
right.
end and does it. Because I'm just wondering if it comes on the speaker here and thinks it's one of us and flips it to us.
Oh, gotcha. All right. So, hello, Steve Harper, Kirk Taylor, azradiolive.com.
That's awesome. It totally works.
Live.
It's just picking up our voice and flipping it to us. So this is Jimmy. Jimmy's the producer. He makes all the magic happen. You'll like this. Okay. This is with YouTube Live and Google Hangouts. Nice. It's voice activated, like a 2-camera shot, like your camera is. Well, you've got your camera set up for different shots. That little round blows my mind. Like I want one of those, right? So when we saw this do this last night, it picks up who's talking and flips the camera to them. Oh wow! So you get this virtual 2-camera shot without having to do a thing.
Yep, that is so cool. That's really need help with that?
Fine.
What are we talking about?
This is training in cold weather, and then the second one we can do after is moving to a new place, and what happens when you move to a new place. Those are the 2 topics. I sent you a PDF. I'm sure when afternoons are crazy busy for you. So, hey, did you see those? You saw the questions and all that stuff, right?
Yeah, I kind of glanced over it a little bit. Yep.
Yeah. It's a little loose.
Whatever. Conversation. It's all good.
Yeah, right.
How many of these do you have now in your life?
I think this is 15.
Wow.
Or this will be 15, 16, 14, 15, something like that. And I've got another,
Nice.
I think I've got another 30 videos besides that. And I've got another 20 that I'm going to do next week. So 15, 20-ish.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay,
I know.
rolling.
Okay, I'm getting.
Cool.
I'm going to start these as soon as you're ready. All right. As soon as. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm going to start Facebook Live.
Get the music going.
And
Okay.
Okay. We are live on Facebook. And we are. Oh, and I got the wrong one. And we're live on YouTube.
Okay.
Go with the music.
All right.
Okay. Oh,
Want me to start the broadcast?
good to go.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Music, here we come.
Now hopefully we can hear Scott. Well, we'll hear Scott. Scott won't
Will you
come
make-
through on the.
You'll
Right,
just,
we'll just
you'll
have
just
to
need
hear
to,
him over there.
You'll just need to pour in the
Want to fit in?
You're listening to azradio.live's production of our Multisport Mojo podcast featuring Steve Harper and Kaptain Kirk Taylor. You can hear the Multisport Mojo wherever you get your podcasts. Now here, without any further ado, here's Steve Harper and Kirk Taylor.
Hey, welcome to all you triathletes, swimmers, riders, and runners, newbies and 10-timers, 8-hour finishers, or 16-hour survivors. We're age grouper gurus doing the homework, gathering the insights, answering your questions to make you faster, fitter, and fresher in triathlon training, and especially in race day. I'm your host, Steve Harper with Multisport Mojo and TryGearGuru.com. Alongside me is my good buddy, Ironman certified coach, Kirk Taylor. Kirk, how's it going?
Yo, what's up?
Hey, we're both age groupers, Ironman and triathlon and marathon vets, and everything else in between. Multisport here to get you from start to finish. Remember to like us on Facebook at Multisport Mojo. That's all one word, where you can weigh in and ask questions, and we'll answer them in an upcoming podcast. Follow us on Twitter at hashtag Multisport Mojo. Subscribe to our YouTube channel on Multisport Mojo as well. And go to TryGearGuru.com. That's TRIGearGuru.com for content, insights, and great prices on everything triathlon. Running, go to RunGearGuru.com. Biking, go to RideGearGuru.com. Swimming, go to SwimGearGuru.com. We'd also like to thank our sponsors, Try Hard Triathlon Coaching, specializing in getting you across the finish line in your first triathlon and beyond. Contact Try Hard on their Facebook page at Try Hard Coaching. azradio.live, your home for independent music artists. Discover them here and promote the betterment of your community. Big Mike's Recording Studio, headquartered in Scottsdale, Arizona. Need to record an album, broadcast a radio show, polish up your blogs, Facebook Live feed, or even record a podcast? Contact Big Mike's Recording Studio at azradio.live and get all the polish of a professional recording studio at a price that fits your startup budget. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. I've got my red shirt on today.
I've got some
Just
red
for the
in my hat. I
occasion.
should have worn a red shirt. Man, I've got my purple Valentine's.
You're so romantic. Wow.
Hey, big plans tonight?
Yeah, we're doing a multi-sport Mojo radio show. That's the big plan.
Yeah, nice.
So I'm spending it here with you and Jimmy and our upcoming guest. So excited. Oh, my goodness.
I know.
Wow.
Love from me to you.
Hey, we got to keep this PG, please. Come on.
Hey, listen, speaking of our special guest, today we brought in from the cold, wintry north a good buddy of ours, Scott Brady. Scott, say hello so everybody can see you on the YouTube live feed.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Denver. I know you've been here in Scottsdale, where it's a lot more beautiful, but yeah, Denver's pretty nice.
Hey, Scott, what's the temperature in Denver right now?
Well, we had a nice toasty high of about 50, but it's dropped down to about 38 right now.
Yeah, what was the low last night?
Wasn't bad. Actually, it's you're catching us at a good time.
Yeah.
The low last night was probably in the low 30s.
Wow, low 30s. You know, I think we did a run. I'm just thinking we did a run 2 days ago where it was 38, 39.
Yeah, it was chilly.
I was bundled up like the kid from the Christmas Story.
It hurt my face.
Hey, Scott, we wanted you on the show today to talk about training in cold weather. You're a warm weather guy. You're a Southern California kid. You moved to Arizona. That's when we all started doing things together. You're here for, 10 years? Yeah? 11 years?
Yeah.
So you're a warm-blooded, multi-sport athlete, yeah?
Yeah. Well, just to put some perspective, about a week ago, I think I texted you. It was -3 when I walked to to work about a week ago.
Yeah, you're a school teacher, yeah.
Very different.
That was the polar vortex.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't quite as bad as places like Chicago and other places, but it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what did today we want to talk, hey, listen, Kirk and I could talk about training in cold weather, but we thought we're going to get the man who's been training in cold weather for 2 years now to talk about what you've learned, how you dial it in, and everything that we've been doing all together. You move up north and you're still trying to keep on the same thing. So let's talk about that for a little bit. Warm weather to cold weather training, big difference?
Yeah, I mean, it is a big difference. And I think it took me some time, and I'm impressed that you said 2 years, because in 3 weeks, it'll be exactly 2 years.
Wow.
And
that's the kind of guy I am.
It's a pretty big difference. And I honestly, we would go for rides, and if it was below 60 on a bike ride,
dude,
it was kind of like, do we dare? Do we have the courage to go out?
Yeah, got the gloves on.
And that's changed quite a bit, yeah.
You were on a bike ride this afternoon?
No, I didn't have time this afternoon, but I was out a few days ago, and it was in the high 30s. I went out a couple days ago.
Was there snow on the? I can't even imagine. We're going to talk about. Was there snow on the ground?
You were on a road?
Snow and ice. Yeah,
were you outside on a road?
No, we'll talk about that in our next podcast.
I mean, you weren't like inside on a spin bike?
Yeah, no. I honestly, like, if you had told me 2 years ago that I'd be riding my bike and it's 35
what the
degrees
heck?
and there's snow on the ground,
My
I would have
gosh.
thought you were crazy.
Yeah.
Honest, we wouldn't go out. We just wouldn't do it.
You are crazy.
No. Well, hey, you're from Colorado,
So has it been a
But I didn't go
gradual-
out and ride my bike in the winter.
Has it been a gradual change, or was this just where you bit down on your lip and said, I gotta get my miles in, I gotta go? Or did you have to kind of build up to where this is no big deal now?
No, you have to bite the bullet. You have to just, go for it. And I mean, you spend, the website has these amazing, links to all kinds of different gear.
TryGearGuru.com, yeah.
You're good to go.
Yeah, you can keep pitching. That's all good. You can pitch TryGearGuru.com all day long. Right, but right. I mean, so did you go out and, I mean, this is, everybody listening to this, we're all trying to do the right thing. Did you go get gear? Did you go out in your regular gear on a ride and then say, whoa,
Oh, yeah.
no, yeah, this is not going to work?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. You go out in your regular Phoenix 75-degree.
Yeah, and your bike kit, shirts, short sleeve shirt.
Oh, yeah, and it was, the interest for me, my experience was I would be okay on the bike ride. It was when I got back home and I began to kind of thaw out. That's what really bothered me.
Really? Talk about that.
Yeah. Sorry, what?
Talk about that.
Well, I mean, I think your body tends to, when you're out there, your body, and again, this is my experience, where your body tends to adjust to what you're doing. But then I think, yeah, when I would finish, that's when my body would kind of freak out and be like, oh, it's 30. There are days when I'd be out and it would be the high 20s.
What?
And, oh yeah. Yeah.
So the adjustment early on wasn't, we talk about all of the time when it's cold and you start to go, your body temperature will increase, and so it will feel like it's 10 degrees warmer. Well, going from 30 to 40 is still not that big of a shift, but you're saying that coming back, your body would still be really cold and it was hard to adjust.
Yeah, and I don't know. I haven't done research on this. I don't know the science behind this, but yeah, for sure. Like my body would come down, and it was tough.
Does it do it now?
So,
has it done it for you, Kirk? I don't ride in 30-degree weather, right? I mean, really, the coldest rides that we go on, and you got to have daylight, right? So it's in the 60s. I rode yesterday. It was 62. And I had a long sleeve shirt on and bike gloves and regular bike shorts. And I was, for the first 20 minutes, it was cold. But when I got home, it was fine,
It was in the 60s?
Yeah, it was awful. But you're regularly out in the wintertime on a ride. We talk about the conditions on a ride. Is there snow? I mean, you're on a path or the road. Is there ice, snow? What are you dealing with?
Well, I mean, just to understand a little bit about where I live in Denver, it can snow one day and you can be out on a bike ride the next day. Because the sun comes out, it warms up,
right?
The snow melts.
Right.
And so it's not like I'm not riding through 6 inches of snow. It's not like that.
Yep.
But certainly there are patches where it's shady. There are patches of ice, patches of snow. There's water where it's melted. So you're not riding through snow. There have been a couple times where I've had to get off my bike and carry my bike maybe 20 feet.
Through the slush?
Snow.
Yeah.
Oh, through the snow?
Slush, yeah. And that
Wimp.
was a wake-up call when I realized I couldn't clip back in.
Oh, no.
Because there was snow packed into my cleats. So you have to get like a stick and dig out the snow from it.
Wow.
You don't experience that in Phoenix.
No, no.
And so it's just, it's just different.
Are there things you ride through now that you wouldn't have ridden like 2 years ago? You'd think, no way. And now you're like, I'm just going on a ride.
Oh, yeah. Because you have to. I mean, I don't have a race on the calendar right now. But
Well, you just did Boulder this summer. You did the Ironman Boulder 70.3. So you had to train. It's a summer race. You had to train through winter and spring.
Yeah.
You didn't have a choice. You're getting your miles in.
Yep. Yeah, you have no choice. And I'm not. I have a trainer. I don't like the trainer.
The indoor trainer, the spin bike. Or no, not the spin bike. You throw your bike on the indoor trainer.
Yeah, but that's certainly an option. And I know that you trained a lot for your first St. George Ironman on a trainer.
Yeah, because it was so cold outside. in Phoenix.
Because it was 60 outside.
Yeah.
So hey, talk to us about the trainer for a second. What is it that you don't like about the trainer? Because what is it that you don't like? I mean, this is good for anybody who's thinking about getting a trainer or who's on a trainer.
Yeah.
Talk to us a little bit about that, about your gear.
It's interesting because I'm a guy for the running.
Yeah.
Which makes me kind of the odd man out with the group. But I really enjoy biking. And I love being outside, all the things that you love about it. And you're inside and it's just, there's nothing, I don't feel like I'm going anywhere. It's a workout for the sake of a workout, which is fine and it's great. And if you have to do it, it's a great alternative. But any more than an hour and I'm just done.
Done like bored done?
We would be out on a bike ride. We could be out on a bike ride for 3 hours, 4 hours.
Yeah, right, sure.
Yeah.
It's just a very different experience.
Right.
But if necessity, if you have to do it, you have to do it.
Now, what about if you also have a gym and you have a community center with a gym where you live? Have you gone there and ridden the bike or jumped on the treadmill or, in winter?
Yeah, for sure. And it's great because there's an indoor track and there's a bunch of bikes, and so you can do bricks. You can go back and forth. You can do 10 minutes on the treadmill, on the track, and then jump on the bike, going back and forth. And I think that is really good.
Now, Kirk, you've got a spin bike at home when it's cold or the weather goes sideways, and you like that?
I do.
Yeah.
It's also nice when it's 120 degrees outside.
Yeah.
Right? So for me, it's just about finding something entertaining to watch. Right?
Because you haven't got anybody to talk to. Yeah.
Yeah, just put on a movie or something. Then you give thanks for Hulu and Netflix. Or I go to Walmart and find a bunch of DVDs for $5. Something like that. So that's interesting. Well, I didn't know if it was just being on the trainer itself that you found annoying for some reason, or because you've got to. Is this one of the trainers where you've got to put your rear wheel on the?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I spent like $300 on the thing.
Right.
And it's necessity, right? If that's what you have to do, that's what you do.
Do you feel like that's a hassle having to rig up your bike to it? Would you be more inclined to ride it if you had a second bike that was always hooked up to it?
Yeah.
Where you just hop on?
I do have that. I have a
Oh, you do?
bike that's hooked up. Yeah. The whole thing is a hassle. What do you mean by hassle? Everything about what we do is a hassle. So,
but when you add, but for me, if I want to go, like I went on a ride yesterday and I decided I had a window and I decided with about 10 minutes to go, hey, I got a little window of time. And the bike's in the garage, pump up the tires, throw the kid on, and I'm out.
Well, I think most things are a hassle for Scott. Having to walk out to the car in the morning, that's a hassle.
My middle name. Yeah.
So if you're planning on, if you're planning on a ride or a run, we haven't talked about swimming yet. We'll get to that. If you're planning on a ride or a run in the wintertime, is it something you have to plan out ahead of time? You got to give yourself some lead time, or do you just go, hey, the kids aren't home and the sweetheart's still at the office? I got a window. I'm going to go.
Yeah, fortunately, the climate in Denver is pretty good. I know, kind of has people say, well, it's always cold. It's pretty good. You can kind of stick your head out the door and be like, okay, it's pretty good out there. You can go. But there is, some awareness of the weather and what's going on. And because I went out, a week or so ago, and there was probably too much snow on the ground. And so there are times I found myself slipping and sliding all over the place.
Wait, slipping and sliding like how? Like going down?
No, I didn't go down, but just like in a car. If you drive in a car in snowy conditions or icy conditions, you're kind of sliding around. And the same thing holds true for a bike. And so it was a little sketchy, and I came home and I told my wife, I'm like, I probably shouldn't have done that. But it was fine. It wasn't that bad. And so you do have to have some awareness of the condition.
Yeah.
Because it's not Phoenix. You guys, I mean, you just go.
Yeah. Well, I'm like, it's drizzling right now. I wouldn't go out on a ride right now. But we've been on rides
it's
where
also a little cold.
Yeah. Well, yeah, for sure, a little cold. But there, I look at the forecast, and if it's going to rain in the afternoon, I'm not riding. But for you, if there's snow in the forecast, and you stick your head outside and it's not snowing, good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
You throw on the jacket if it's 25 degrees outside. You throw on a jacket, throw on some gloves.
Yeah. Talk about what you wear. Do you wear toe covers on your cycling shoes?
No, I don't have toe covers.
Man, you have been there a long time. We're going to have to send you a pair of toe covers you can pull up and keep your feet from going. For me, when I ride in the cold, it's my fingers and my toes.
Yeah.
If my fingers and my toes go, I'm just like a brick on the bike. I can't control it.
No fun.
I'm miserable.
Yeah. I've got a pair of neoprene booties.
Yeah.
Never worn them.
Yeah, I've got
I'm putting
booties
them up on
waiting to
eBay
get-
tonight.
So what do you wear?
I'll send you the link, Scott.
On a cold ride to you, what do you wear?
I just make sure that I'm covered.
Covered like what? Like long? Do you have a bike shirt on and a jacket and a bike jacket?
Bike shirt. I have gloves.
What kind of your regular cycling gloves or long sleeve or long sleeve? Long
Full
finger?
fingered.
Yeah, and not the half finger.
Right.
Full.
Yeah.
Yeah, my whole body's covered.
Winter bike gloves, yeah.
Sorry, what?
So you've got a long sleeve bike shirt on. You've got a long sleeve bike jacket on. So you still have pockets in the back.
20s, yes.
No.
20s jacket.
Yeah. Do you just have your helmet on? Do you have something on your head?
Nope.
Good heavens.
Nothing on my head. Just the helmet.
Long sleeve. You have or long sleeve. Long. You have bike tights on.
Yep.
Are they thermal or? Yeah.
Yep.
Are you cold when you ride?
I'm fine. I'm fine as long as I do that. Yeah.
Yeah, your core temperature bounces up about, so it feels 10. Okay. And would you say you're used to it or it's just good?
Tolerable.
I think you do get used to it. Your body does adjust to it for sure.
Yeah.
Cold is cold. And
Yeah.
if you're riding, it's 30 degrees.
Yeah.
And you're riding, and the wind is blowing in your face.
Right.
It's cold.
Okay. What about
it's cold.
What about runs? We haven't talked about runs. You running outside or are you on a treadmill?
If it's cold, I'll just go on a treadmill.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing is, we'll talk about this in the next podcast, but it's hilly. It's hilly here. And so that adds a whole different dimension to it. But, treadmill. If it's cold, I just go on the treadmill.
Okay. What about swimming?
It's inside. So
Hey, I don't know. Hey, listen. Well,
you guys swim.
yeah,
Outside.
we swim outside in the winter.
Well, in a heated pool.
Yeah.
There's no.
Of course. Hey, listen. But listen, and I'll say this to all of the people that think when I say we do swim training in the wintertime in Arizona, and they look at me like I'm a crazy person. Look, it's the best time of the year to swim. The pool, and people look at you like you are a crazy person. What are you doing in the water? The water's heated, 60, 70 degrees. So you get in, it doesn't feel like a jacuzzi, but you get in and it's a little hot, but you get in, it takes a second, you're off. And nobody else comes to the pool because it's too cold. Now, the thing about swimming in the wintertime is getting out. When you're in the water, you're good. It's the getting out part that you have some reservations with, right? But then you just go jump in the jacuzzi. And you're good.
Swim more laps.
But right, I mean, there's the pool, an outdoor heated pool in the wintertime should be packed. And it's not. It's when it gets to spring and fall, when the outside temperature is about the same temperature as the pool.
Once they stop heating the pool.
Right. Well, right. I mean, 70 degrees in the wintertime feels toasty. 70 degrees when it's 70 degrees out, the water feels icy. So there's the misnomer. I mean, if there's swimming is cake in the wintertime. Either way, unless it's not a heated pool and You're ice skating.
How's the water at your place, Jimmy?
Gosh, we have no heated pool, but we're lucky if it's clean like once a week during the wintertime, so we don't swim even in the summer, actually.
No?
No.
Well, hey,
We could loan you a wetsuit
Oh, okay.
if you want to hop in and do a few laps.
Sure, why not?
All right.
So we've got a couple of minutes left. Give us an experience. Give us an experience training in the wintertime. One of those, oh my gosh, stories from both of you.
Go, Scott.
Go ahead, Kirk. Well, I think just like I said, like a week or so ago, and it was probably, I don't know, low to mid 30s. It had just snowed a couple days earlier. Had not warmed up enough to really melt the snow. It was windy. It was the kind of wind that, like, you open the car door, it slams the car door. I had everything going against me. But, I think what it comes down to, really, honestly, is attitude. And I'm out there, and it's beautiful Colorado. There's rivers, and there's lakes, and there's the Rocky Mountains. And, yeah, the wind's blowing like crazy, and I'm fighting for every inch. It's 30 degrees, and it's brutal. But at the same time, I'm like, this is great. What an awesome experience this is. And so I think if there's any takeaway from it, dress warm, be aware of the elements, but also have a good attitude and just have an adventure.
Yeah. What about you, Kirk?
That's the sign of a true masochist.
Learn from the best.
Outstanding. That is wonderful. I don't know that I've got any experience in particular. I just want to, maybe take a second to shout out to the loved ones in our lives since this is Valentine's Day. I got a text a little bit ago that my mom is watching, so happy Valentine's Day, Mom, and to the wife and kids and all that good stuff.
Well, that's nice, isn't it? Denver.
Because, hey, let's face it, at least in my case, none of this training would be possible, really. I mean, my wife has been so tolerant of all the time spent out.
Well, and then you do all the training.
And biking and swimming. Yeah.
I thought that was good.
That was good.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right, 2 quick questions that have come in. Coldest temps you've ever ridden your bike in?
Oh, it's got to be 30 something.
Yeah,
probably.
Scott?
This would have been when I was in school.
High 20s.
In Utah.
All right, snowing, run inside or outside.
What about you?
Oh yeah, I said high 20s. Is that what you said? Oh, me?
You. Arizona
it
boy.
It would have been in the 40s. And the coldest ride I've ever been on was the St. George Ironman 70.3 2 years ago, and I was frozen solid.
Yeah, we talked about
People
that.
dropping out.
That was a cold day.
But
cold,
if I had been prepared, like Scott's talked about, if you're prepared, and you're wearing the right stuff and you've got a good attitude, man, it makes all the difference. All right, outside, do you go for a run? That's the other question. Snowing outside, do you go for a run?
Of course.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Scott, what do you say? Weigh in.
I mean, you planned on a run, you might as well go. Sure.
Snowing.
Of
course.
If it's icy, then you're in for trouble.
Because why? Yeah?
Just snow is great. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Snow's coming down. You're good.
Yep.
Yeah.
No
Okay.
ice is bad.
And in a place like Colorado, Utah, a lot of the Midwest, where it'll snow and then it'll melt off in the afternoon. But then the problem is sun goes down and it all freezes quick. And so if you're doing early morning runs, you do have a lot of patches of ice that you're going to have to worry about. So that is definitely something for the early morning runner to have to keep in mind and consider, hey, there could be a lot more time spent on treadmills.
To be safe.
Right. As opposed to going out, say, in the afternoon, after the sun's been out all day, say you go out around 3:30, 4, if you can get off early or whatever, and do your run when it's all just, melted and you just have water to deal with on the roads.
That's good advice. Any last advice for training in cold Arctic North weather?
Watch out for the polar vortex.
There you go.
Beware.
Good attitude.
That's good. Well, I'll tell you what, if everybody watching, we're going to do another podcast right after this. If you're not, we'll archive them out on the sites. We've got Scott with us. We're going to keep talking. We're going to close up shop here. That's all the time we've got for this one. Kirk and I want to thank you for joining us today. Remember, like us on Facebook at Multisport Mojo, all one word, where you can weigh in and ask questions, and we'll answer them in an upcoming podcast. Follow us on Twitter at #MultisportMojo. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Multisport Mojo, and go to TryGearGuru.com for more content and insights and great prices on everything triathlon and running. Go to RunGearGuru.com. Biking, RideGearGuru.com. Swimming, you got it, SwimGearGuru.com. We'd like to thank our sponsors, Try Hard Triathlon Coaching. Contact Try Hard at their Facebook page at Try Hard Coaching. azradio.live, your home for independent music artists. Discover them here and promote the betterment of your community. Big Mike's Recording Studio.
Big Mike's.
Contact Big Mike's Recording Studio at azradio.live and get all the polish of a professional recording studio at a price that fits your startup budget. This is the Multisport Mojo podcast. Triathlon age group gurus doing all the homework, gathering all the insights, answering all your questions, and even inviting a few friends to chime in to make us all faster, fitter, and fresher in triathlon training and on a race day. Here to help you get from start to finish. Hey, we'll see you next time.
I went to church to cleanse my soul.
man or for his girlfriend?
Actually, I don't even know if we're going to see each other tonight because it's so late and we're working late and all that. But she did get me Dolce & Gabbana.
Oh, wow.
Nice cologne, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Alone?
I didn't think that was Kirk that smelled so good.
Well, I did wear it today. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
And we're preempting the Insomniacs. They go on till 6:45. So if we want to, interrupt our 7 listeners.
Hey, 7 list. Hey, every week it's a few more.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm live on Facebook and I'm live on YouTube.
7 people who are listening to AZ Radio, listening
Oh.
to the Insomniacs. That's what
Hey,
I'm saying.
oh,
Yeah,
got
yeah,
it.
yeah.
All right, we're going to have to make this especially entertaining now.
Okay, good.
All right, good. Roll the tape.
Okay.
Roll the music.
Okay,
right.
here we go.
We need signature music.
Well,
That's all right. Go.
okay.
We'll talk about that.
Okay.
Oh, I'll find something.
Right now we've got
let him find
Carvin
something.
Jones. Okay, ready
Okay.
for the music?
Yeah, go.
Go. Here we go. We're going live.
You're listening to azradio.live's production of our Multisport Mojo podcast featuring Steve Harper and Captain Kirk Taylor. You can hear the Multisport Mojo wherever you get your podcasts. Now, without any further ado, here's Steve Harper and Kirk Taylor.
Hey, welcome to all you triathletes, swimmers, riders, and runners, newbies and 10-timers, 8-hour finishers, or 16-hour survivors. We're age group of gurus doing the homework, gathering the insights, answering your questions to make you faster, fitter, and fresher in triathlon training, multisport training, and especially on race day. I'm your host, Steve Harper, with Multisport Mojo and TryGearGuru.com, and alongside me is my good buddy, Ironman certified coach Kirk Taylor. Kirk,
Hey, happy Valentine's Day.
happy Valentine's Day. We're both age groupers, Ironman, triathlon, and marathon vets, and everything else multisport in between. Here to get you to Valentine's. I've got that Valentine's cookie in my mouth. I can't get through the intro. Here to get you from start to finish. Remember to like us on Facebook at Multisport Mojo. That's all one word, where you can weigh in and ask questions. We'll answer them in an upcoming podcast. Follow us on Twitter at hashtag Multisport Mojo. All kinds of good stuff. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Multisport Mojo. See this video and all other kinds of content out there. And go to TryGearGuru.com for more content, insights, and great prices on everything triathlon. Running, go to RunGearGuru.com. Biking, go to RideGearGuru.com. Swimming, you guessed it, go to SwimGearGuru.com. We'd also like to thank our sponsors, Try Hard Triathlon Coaching, specializing in getting you across the finish line in your first triathlon and beyond. Contact Try Hard, T-R-I Hard, on their Facebook page at Try Hard Coaching. azradio.live, your home for independent music artists. Discover them here and promote the betterment of your community. Big Mike's Recording Studio.
Big Mike.
Headquartered in Scottsdale, Arizona. Need to record an album, broadcast a radio show, polish up your blogs, Facebook Live feed, or even record a podcast? Contact Big Mike's Recording Studio at azradio.live and get all the polish of a professional recording studio at a price that fits your startup budget. Happy Valentine's Day, Kirk. You brought the Valentine's cookies, and they're yummy.
Yeah, well, I can't take credit for them. It's just one of the offerings here at the studio today.
Yeah? You didn't bake. You
no.
didn't bake those. No? Well, you should show
No
everybody.
baking, but it has been a day of culinary delights.
Look at that.
I had
How does that look?
Yeah, isn't that
looks
beautiful?
yummy.
And I had a fabulous brunch this morning at the movie theater. A massive bag of popcorn.
Wow.
Butter, a little in the middle, and a lot on the top. That's my little jingle. When they ask me, you want any butter on this? A little in the middle and a lot on top. You like that?
I
wrote that.
You need some kind of a. Can
A
you sing
little
it?
in the
There we
middle
go.
and a lot on top.
That's what I was asking for. I want you to sing.
I know. I got it. There's no off switch.
Hey, listen, we've got a special guest today. We'd like to introduce our good buddy, all the way from Denver, Colorado. If you're on the YouTube live feed, you can see him. If you're on the Facebook live feed, you're going to have to listen to him. But imagine if you're on the Facebook live feed, a handsome, strapping young guy, and then put that all aside and imagine a school teacher in Denver, Colorado, who's working his tail off to stay in shape and do Ironmans and marathons. Buddy, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, guys.
Many of you will recognize him from a starring role in the hit TV series 24.
I'd never put that together. Do you think what's his name? What's his name?
Never heard that before.
What's that guy's? Are you ever mistaken? Is he your doppelganger? Is that it? What's his name again?
Oh, yeah.
Scott Sutherland.
Since high school. I don't see it.
This is Kiefer Brady right here.
A lot of other people see it.
Yeah.
A lot of other people see it. I don't know. I don't.
Yeah, just like when I see Kirk, I can't. Is it Brad Pitt or is it Kirk?
Stop.
I don't know.
George Clooney.
Oh.
George Clooney.
Mm-hmm. Only he's got more gray than I do. Ha! Take that, George. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have one. When I was younger, people thought I looked like Matthew Broderick, and then I lost my hair, and all those comparisons.
Oh, yeah, I
went
can
away.
see that.
Yeah.
I've seen pictures of you with hair.
Yeah.
I can see Matthew Broderick.
Stanley Tucci.
So,
That's probably better.
When we first met you, Steve, we used to call you the Stanley Tucci guy.
Oh,
Stanley
behind my
Tucci
back,
guy.
of course. That's his. You would never say that to my face.
until now.
You were the Stanley Tucci guy.
Huh?
Wow.
Huh?
All sorts of really good personal stuff coming out here on Valentine's Day.
Wow.
This is awesome.
Yeah, I won't tell you what my wife got me for Valentine's Day. I'll tell you guys off air. It's embarrassing and hysterical all at the same time.
Oh.
No.
So we're going to need comments
Yeah.
to get this out of him. So
Yeah,
if anybody's...
if there are enough comments that come in, I might divulge at the end of the podcast.
We need requests.
It's pretty good.
What did Mrs. Harper get for Steve
Yeah.
for Valentine's Day?
Well, our producer Jimmy was just saying that from his sweetheart, he got some cologne, and I thought, I wish mine had been that good.
I got
wish-
some
I wish.
chocolates.
When you've been married for 30
And she
years,
went to the movies with me.
Oh, geez. See,
Come on,
I
Old
don't-
Spice is good. Come
Oh
on.
no, I wish it had been as good as Old Spice. I wish.
I'll tell you one I like is Mankind. I don't have any of it, but there's our bishop.
Cologne called Mankind.
Yeah, our bishop at church. He wears this cologne called Mankind, and it smells really good.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know what that says about you.
One to check out. It says, I
Well,
like
if we
the
get enough
smell.
comments, I'll tell you what my sweetheart of 30 years gave me. It's no longer about, I think from the guy's side, you're just trying desperately to keep their attention and do something kind.
I'm amazed how long you've been working that cookie.
Hey, well, I'm the one talking. But from their side,
Doesn't stop me.
they're, it's all comedy. They know that you're trying to hang on as tight as you can, and so they just mess around with you. They just mess around because
The
they
women.
can. Because you're not going to leave. You can't leave. They just mess. All right, I need to stop right here.
Wow.
If you've got questions,
Good cookie.
I'll divulge in what it is. Hey, listen, we've got Scott here. He's our buddy. Lived here for 11 years. We trained. We did races together in Scottsdale, Arizona, where it's nice and warm. He's now moved to Denver.
I don't think any of these are going to make it home.
They may not make it through the podcast.
Probably not.
Jeez.
Jimmy, you're going to have to get in here.
So he moved to Denver, and now we do a lot of this going back and forth. But we still go to races together. We don't get to train as much together, but we still go to races. Today, we wanted, since we got our buddy in here, we wanted to talk about traveling to races. I know a lot of first-timers have questions about, the training. I'm starting to get my training dialed in. We've talked about how to choose a race. If you choose a race that's away from home, what do you do? We get a lot of questions about that. What do you bring? How soon do you get there? What do you eat when you're there? How do you sleep? So let's start with that. Hey, we've what's the last race we did together? What's
St.
the last
George.
race? Was
St.
it?
George Marathon.
Well, it's you and me.
Yeah.
We did St.
Oh, you're
George
talking about
in
the
the
three
fall.
of us.
Yeah, the three of us. What's the last race the three of us did? Scott, do you remember?
I think it was Ironman Oceanside.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably right.
Yeah. Which is in the spring.
What was that?
Maybe, I don't know,
April?
year
Was
and a
that
half
2 years ago? It was like April 2 years ago, right?
Almost 2 years ago.
Was
yeah.
it? 2017?
So you were, wow, where'd the time go? Holy smokes. What was that? It used to be last year. Now it's not last year anymore. So Scott was coming from Denver. Kirk and I were coming from Phoenix and all headed to Oceanside to do the Ironman 70.3. Any thoughts? Just general thoughts about traveling. How soon do you like to get to a race? We'll just jump through some of these questions. How soon do you like to get to a race? Well, before we do that, do you like to go to a race or do you like to do a race in your backyard? We just had the Phoenix Marathon last weekend.
Yeah.
Would you rather do the Phoenix Marathon or would you rather go to St. George or Oceanside or Santa Rosa or Boulder or, yeah, what do you think?
Ask the guest.
Scott, what do you like to do?
Yeah. Well, I think the first, few races I did were half marathons, then marathons.
Yeah.
I think for a long time, they were all in my backyard.
Okay.
You just think, well, it's convenient because it's right there, and you have to be there so early that it's right there. But then, you guys got me doing the St. George Ironman, then we started doing the St. George Marathon, then
Right.
St. George Ironman.
Right.
And I gotta tell you, like the difference between doing like the St. George Marathon versus the Phoenix Marathon, which is in your backyard.
Right.
I loved it. I loved traveling. I loved going to Oceanside with you guys, and the whole experience for me, it just makes it this big weekend experience. And I think I would much rather do that.
You'd much rather go somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and obviously it makes it, there's a lot of planning and there's a lot of things you have to do
Right.
to prepare, and it's a lot harder and it's a lot more expensive because you have to get a place to stay.
Yeah.
But it just makes it's like a vacation with your buddies and you throw in a race.
Yeah. It does seem like that, right? When it's a local race, you think about the race. Even though you go to register and you go to the expo and you do some of those same things. For me, if it's a local race, you got to wake up extra early. You got to get there. And then you go knock out the race, then you go home and take a nap and think about what's for dinner. When you travel, it's a lot of fun. And when you do it with buddies, and that's why we wanted to talk about this today. Oh, it's a whole lot of fun. I've traveled solo. I went with my wife and we had a great time. But when you travel with a bunch of friends and even their families and you land someplace, it's a whole lot of fun, and you throw a race into it, and it's a kick. It's a kick.
Yeah.
2 thumbs up on doing a race with a bunch of buddies and traveling together. What's difficult? What's difficult about traveling to a race? What do you think, Scott? Hardest part for you?
And, everybody
You're
you have your bike, you have everything.
right.
And so getting all of your stuff where it needs to be is the pain.
Yeah.
And so that definitely requires planning and thought and, planning.
Right.
Have you
How
ever
about
used a bike packing service? You've just always hauled your bike on the back of the car, right? Like you've never flown to a race?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you?
Correct.
That's true. I've never flown to a race with my gear. I mean, I've flown to races. I haven't flown to a triathlon. I've flown to marathons, but I haven't flown to a tri where I've had to bring a bike or rent a bike or get gear.
So those of you who have flown to races and, taken your bike, you prefer to take your bike, have it boxed up, or you just want to rent a bike
Yeah.
when you get there?
Yeah. Weigh in on Facebook or YouTube. This would be good, and we'll follow up with you on a post and try to put some of that insight in there. I like to drive to races if it's a tri, and there are enough Ironman triathlons now on the west side of the states. We're in Scottsdale, so we can go to Oceanside, we can go to Boulder, we can go to Santa Rosa, we can go to St. George. That's all of that's drivable. And they're all great races, and they're all. I would, I've thought about, when you go to the expos and you see the people picking up their bikes, from bike transport, or you're renting a bike. Now, there are some challenges there, but we just haven't, the races I've done, I've just not had to worry about that. Scott, you talked about packing. What do you always, do you have a bit of a ritual? Do you have a process? What do you do?
Well, I'm more of the newbie here. I've done 6 Ironman 70s, so I'm well behind you guys. But
That's a lot.
yeah, yeah.
You've done enough to where you've got it down. Yeah.
Yeah, and for newbies, and I think your podcast, it's for the new guys, the new ladies. Especially in Ironman, there's so much to think about, and there's so much. When you do a marathon, you have shorts, t-shirt, and good shoes. You're fine.
Yeah.
But or triathlon, any triathlon, there's so much gear and everything has to be just so
Yeah.
that, if I would recommend, honestly, your first couple, have a spreadsheet. Do a little Excel spreadsheet where you have everything, because you're going to forget something.
Yeah. Well, and I think as first timers, there are things you don't know to bring.
Yeah, for sure.
There are things you don't know to bring. To bring, we talked about at transitions, you may think to bring Vaseline or Glide, but you don't think to bring it, depending on the race, if you have multiple transition spots, to bring multiple, sets of Glide or Vaseline. You don't think about bringing new socks maybe for the run, or a different pair of socks for the run and the ride. You don't think about bringing stuff just in case the weather goes sideways. I mean, we've got a list out at trygearguru.com. If you search for it, you can find a great list, at least a packing list for marathon and for triathlon. And that's helpful. What about you, Kirk? Thoughts about prepping for the race or prepping to travel to a race? Do you have a process?
I always make a checklist.
Yeah.
When I'm packing.
Yeah.
And so I'll say, all right, what do I need for the swim? Got to have swim cap, got to have the wetsuit, got to have the goggles. Boom. Got to have your onesie or whatever it is you're wearing underneath that, your tri-suit. And then, so, all right, check. I want to have a towel. I want to have a water bottle. We talked about this before. I want to have a little water bottle that I can rinse my feet off with in case my feet pick up debris coming out of the water on the way to the bike. Because, it's just a pain to have to wipe all that crud off your feet before you get your shoes on.
Yeah, that's great.
So then you say, okay, is there anything that I need to have in my T1 bag, in the bike gear bag, aside from all the bike gear, your helmet, shoes, et cetera, your glasses, and, do you want to, you're going to put socks on or not? You're going to have a fresh tuba, so whatever. You just make that list and you categorize it. So what do I need for a swim? What do I need in the bike bag? What do I need in the run bag? What do I want in my special needs bags? If you're doing a full, for example. And just kind of check them off as you go. I just kind of pile everything up and check it off. And then I'm,
Yeah.
Because it's just this horrible feeling, to get on the road and you think, oh, crap, I didn't bring the body
Right.
glide.
You don't want to be the guy. And it's always at an Ironman. I hear it every race morning in T1 as everybody's going, this is the race director, does anybody happen to have an extra wetsuit? We have an athlete that has forgotten his wetsuit. Or swim cap. How many guys you see get in the water without a swim cap? And you may have gotten one in the race, but man, I always bring another one just in case I flip and totally forget to bring the one that I got from check-in.
Hey.
Or goggles, or holy cow. I mean, Scott's right. There's so much stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I do? Here's what I do. I start packing. If I'm going to leave on if it's a Saturday race and we're going to travel on Wednesday, Thursday, and we're going to leave Tuesday. I start packing 3, 4, 5 days before that. I put a bag out and I've got my list and I start putting stuff in my bag. I mean, it's a little OCD, but and then I look at it every day because every day I think, here I gotta forget this, or because I'm still finishing training, so there's stuff that I'm gonna still be using before I'm right, and I don't want to forget that.
Yeah, like your run shoes, your bike shoes, your bike helmet, all that stuff.
Hey, talk about let's talk about.
No, I like to pack up about a month ahead of time because it really helps me with the taper. I don't want to do too much going into the race. So I find if I put everything in the bag about a month ahead of time, then
killing me.
Then I'm not as likely to put in too many miles that last month.
Just ignore him on that. If I like to pack 3, 4, 5 days ahead. And if that's good and that gives you peace of mind, because packing and going to a race is all about peace of mind and having the right stuff. If it takes me 3, 4 days and I have a bag out and I go, that's what I do.
So what I don't understand is if there's so much forethought that goes into the packing, how is it possible that this guy goes through every shelf and every item and walks out with 2 huge bags at the expo?
That's a whole other thing. I love that. It's everything in one place, but that's another podcast. That's
Come
another
on.
podcast. So let's talk about eating and sleeping
But
when you get to the race.
Actually, one of the things that we got to talk about, since we touched on the topic of gear and swim gear, and we have a special guest on, we were talking about this guy before when we were talking about snorkels.
I knew you were going to go there. I
On
knew
the
you were going to
swim.
go there.
Here's the guy. He's right here. We gotta get the.
The snorkel. The front snorkel. The one that goes, not the one that goes out the side that you see the guys in Cayman on your cruise go jump. No, it's the tri-snorkel that goes over the front
It's a
of your
swim
nose.
training snorkel.
I know, but still.
Yeah. Well, you're
know.
right. A lot, people may not know. We got to get the story. What's up with the snorkel? Tell us the story of the snorkel.
Oh, well, so, that was my weakness. My very first Ironman, that was my fear, my anxiety. It terrified.
The swim, you're saying, was your fear. To have to.
Swim, which is, if for us, having experienced many Ironman races, we know that the swim is the easiest of the three.
Not on race day.
But that is the thing that everybody worries about. Everybody brings that up. Oh my, I would do it except the swim.
Totally.
So it is a
People freaking out.
That is a thing for
Yeah.
a whole different podcast.
Yeah.
But I was terrified, just like everybody else who hasn't done an Ironman. I was terrified of the swim, and so that was my crutch. The snorkel was my crutch. When I started training, I could not swim. I probably couldn't swim 2 laps when I started training. And so that was my thing. I allowed myself this thing, and it became my crutch, and I used it for I don't know, maybe third of the actual where I ditched it.
Yeah. You ditched
But
it? You
was
ditched
my
it?
crutch.
You ditched it in the water?
Oh, yeah.
At St. George, you
No.
ditched the snorkel. I don't know this part of the story.
What? Well,
Oh, yeah, no. I just let it hang to the side. It was attached. It was flipped on.
So you're swimming and it's just flailing. Oh, this is classic.
Yes.
Oh, this gets
I
better.
knew it was worth asking about.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta
yeah.
get it. Okay, well, hey, listen, hey, whatever it takes, right? I mean, we're not going to give you a hard time.
Keep going. This is good.
No.
I know. No, I've been doing this for like what
Wow.
4 years now. That is the thing that I will be doing, and it's all fine. It's good.
You don't use a snorkel anymore, though. Now you're good.
Yeah, I'm fine. Haven't used it since. I'm good.
Yeah.
So why'd you decide to just take it out of your mouth?
Because it was just annoying and in the way.
But had you practiced with it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, every swim,
Huh.
I was the guy. It was me and all the, like I'm not going to say it, but it was me and all the older people.
Okay.
You know, so it was.
Hey,
We had,
hey, we are the older guys.
You know, right with that old guys.
Yeah.
But, and it was my thing, and you know, if that's what you need.
Right?
That's what you need, right? And I'm not
Okay.
gonna judge people if they're little, you know. And
No way, man. No, you got it. You do what you got to do.
no,
Okay.
we're all trying to get things flying.
Totally.
You know?
Right. Okay. Before we lose you, because we're running out of time, I want to talk about 3 things. I want to talk about sleep when you're traveling on a race. I want to talk about eating when you're at the race, and I want to talk about being
Snorkels.
with buddies. And you want to talk about more of the snorkel. All right. Talk about sleep, Scott. I know early on when we would travel together, you know, all of us, and we would do marathons together. You had a difficult time sleeping the night before the race. When we would go, talk about that.
Yeah, no matter what, you're not gonna sleep. You just won't, because you have to get up at 3:30, 4 in the morning. Nervous, you're uptight, you're eating funny food. You're gonna get 4 or 5 hours sleep maybe, and you just have to count on it.
Do you try to go to bed earlier? Do you try to go to bed? Oh, I know. I just finished. Where did they all go?
I
Jimmy.
can try to go to bed earlier, but if you're not, you know your own body. If you're not tired.
Yeah. So you go to bed. You'll go to bed at 8 and just lay there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? If you're
Yeah.
with your buddies,
Yeah.
why would you do that? Just
Right.
Enjoy your time.
Right.
Not worry about
Yeah.
it, and you're not going to sleep. And you're going to be the next morning. You're going to be full of adrenaline. You're going to be pumped pumped up.
Yeah. Yep.
Matter in the morning. It won't matter for the race because you're so excited.
Right. Right.
That won't matter. It will matter when you're done. When you're done with the race, go have lunch, go do whatever, and then you're going to sleep 10 hours that night. But the night before,
You're going to catch up the next day.
You're not going to sleep.
Right. Right. Okay. Well, I'm kind of the. I think now that it's part of the process. I fall asleep a little easier, but I'm with you. It still takes a while. Now I do melatonin. It's a good first timer advice. Take melatonin to your race, and it'll help you go to sleep. But if you haven't used it in the past, or if you use it too much, it can keep you awake. We watch a movie. It's easy to stay up really late the night before and just get a couple hours of sleep. Talk about when we travel to a race, and because it's fun, and we take the families, we like to get there a couple of days ahead, it's all about it's going to find good food. So what do you, which is kind of out of your rhythm, do you try and still eat good? Do you try and just eat whatever? What do you like to do?
No, I think we're older. Like, I know you.
Oh, you're breaking up a little bit. Uh-oh.
You have to be careful and don't go nuts. Like the whole carb loading thing is not my thing at all.
Yeah. So that's really interesting because I think people freak out. Newbies, first timers, or if you've done a couple, really get zeroed in on carb loading the day before the race. Races have pasta dinners that you go to.
No.
Not for you. What about you, Kirk? Do you worry about pasta? I know what Kirk does with food in a race.
Yeah.
If there's a buffet intent, it doesn't matter to you on carb load. You want to be comfortable.
Yeah.
Traveling to a race, where it's families and we're all going somewhere.
Yep.
You don't worry about now. We all got to go to the spaghetti dinner.
No. That's a bunch of hoo-ha. It's a myth, and I don't practice it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think what you want to eat the night before is the same stuff you ate the night before you did your long run or your long training workout. Eat that. Do that.
Yep.
You don't want something heavy, right? I mean, you don't want to put down a 26-ounce steak.
Right. Exactly.
But you want to eat normal, right?
Yeah.
You would, right?
So if you plan on having a bunch of pasta the night before, well, you ought to do that, a few times in training so that, if that's going to work for you.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Yeah.
6 or 7 years ago, Kirk drove me up to St. George for the marathon.
Yeah.
This is payback for the snorkel story.
You fed me something in Vegas.
It was Argentine food. I even know this story.
5 or 6 years ago, I'm still digesting that food.
I know what to eat on the way to a race.
So lucky.
Let's go to an Argentine restaurant and eat as much meat as we can. I think he was trying to. He wanted to finish in front of you.
In case anyone's
Master
wondering,
plan.
it's called El Rincón de Buenos Aires. It is in Vegas. It is absolutely fabulous. They will bring you a full asado on grill, on the coals, on the glowing coals at your table.
It sounds great
It
for
is
on
so
the way
awesome.
home from the race.
Empanadas, milanesas,
Wow.
the whole deal. Oh,
Now
fabulous.
afterwards, after the race,
Yeah.
then go nuts.
Yeah.
Nuts after the race.
Yeah.
But before
Man.
the race, no.
Well, see, there's the difference. I practice with the Argentine food. You don't. There you have it.
It's awesome. All right. Talk about traveling to stay. I've stayed in hotels. We've stayed in condos. When we, the last one that the three of us were at together, we stayed at a condo on the beach, right down from the right around the corner from the start of the race. So we walked to T1 and the race start. The race literally went right by the condo, so the families could look out the patio and or stand right on the corner and watch. We could walk down to the finish. Man, it was so great. Talk about what you guys like to look at for where you like to stay. And do you like to all stay together? Do you like to stay, even though you're traveling, stay separate? What do you like? Scott, what do you like? Do you like staying all together?
But there's no like I don't know. I mean, if I'm a slow guy, go ahead, go ahead. That's fine. But I've enjoyed staying with my buddies. An Ironman, you can't really do that. An Ironman, you're pretty much on your own.
No, I mean like staying.
And the
We're
accommodations.
We're gonna drop you like a hot rock if you're slow. We know that during the race, but during the, I'm totally joking now. Yeah, I mean like staying like
At the condo
hotel.
or at
Do
the
you like?
hotel
Do you
altogether.
talk about staying all together? Do you like that?
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
It's been great.
It's not annoying. It doesn't get in the way.
No, you learn things about your friends you didn't really want to know.
Didn't know he was gonna go there. Do you like? This is me. I like being with my buddies at a race. You know, I like, and the families kind of know this. You talked about it. Families kind of know the three of us we're gonna go here, we're gonna go there, we're gonna go here, we're gonna go there, and then we'll come back for family dinner, and then we're gonna. I think it's part of the absolute kick of traveling to a race with your buddies and doing everything together. Going to Reg, going to the expo, go out on go get loose on a run, go walk on the beach, you know, talk. You know, I think that's one of my favorite things is you're getting your bikes ready together. You're cleaning things together. You're laying your stuff out together. You're talking about, hey, what are you going to do? Let's walk through the race course together. You have buddies to bounce ideas off of and really dial you in and settle you down. I really, really like that.
Yeah, we need to get Jimmy go with us on the next race.
It's about the stories. Like, you have to go for the rest of your life, and if you're not together, you're not going to have those stories.
Yeah. That's great. I don't really remember times in races. I mean, I don't remember PRs and how I felt and how I did. What I really remember are when we've traveled to races, the things we've done together, you know, or running together, you know, or riding together during the race, or hanging out at the restaurant before, or chilling out after the race. And I mean, that's just so much fun. It's so much fun.
It's what it's all about, man. It's what it's all about.
Hey.
So you in for the next one, Jimmy?
Okay, running?
No, triathlon.
Triathlon?
Yeah, swim, bike, and run.
Do they let you drive that course or anything? In a golf cart?
Prior to, yeah, sure. Day before.
Yeah,
of course.
Okay.
We'll go
All right.
drive the course.
We got a couple of questions. We'll wrap this up with favorite race to travel to. Favorite race to travel to. Well, let's do two.
Well.
Favorite race to travel to and the one race you love to travel to. Where's the one race? Marathon, triathlon, road race. You pick it. Favorite race you've traveled to. Favorite race race you'd love to go to that you haven't done.
Yeah, so we were in Coeur d'Alene. That was just awesome. Super
Ironman
cool.
Coeur d'Alene.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, we were there for race day. I was not in the race. I always wanted to do it, but we just happened to be on vacation there the day of,
Wow.
and it was amazing. So dang cool.
A favorite race
that
you'd
was real
love
fun.
to go to.
Kona.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
So my story's like yours. But the favorite race that I've been to has been Kona. I was on the media team a few times. And so having, being on the pier with your feet in the water, that's how I got into triathlon. I got the total bug being there in Kona, being inside with the media pass, being inside the transitions with the athletes, being inside the finish. Oh, man. I mean, I took the hook and swallowed it hard. A race that I'd love to go to, race that I would love to go to. I'd love to go, I'd love to do like the London Marathon. I'd love to do the New York Marathon.
Yeah.
You know, Boston. I'd love to do the Boston Marathon. I know there are Ironman races in amazing places, and I'd take them all. But I'd love to do one of these iconic marathons. All right, Scott, your favorite race you've been to and one that you'd love to go to.
You took them. You took them all. I really loved Oceanside Ironman. I think part of it was because, with the amazing condo on the beach and just the whole experience and all the things that we've talked about. Absolutely loved Oceanside. Plus I'm from there, so that was nice. One I'd love to go to, I would love to do an Ironman really anywhere in Europe.
Ooh.
I just think that would be, and again, same reasons. You take all your buddies, go.
Oh.
Family, go.
That would be such a fun trip. All right, we got to get that on the calendar. An Ironman in Europe, and we're all going. I don't know if we take the kids. You take the kids? Whew, that's another conversation. That
Do I
could be a
take out
wife-
another mortgage on my house?
That could be a wife trip. That could be a 6 of us trip. Okay, last question. The one thing you always forget to bring to a race when you travel. Is there one thing you always seem to forget? Or if you can't think of it, one thing you did forget and you kicked yourself? I can tell you while you're thinking, I went to a race where the weather went sideways and cold, and I didn't bring cold weather gear for the ride. I didn't bring gloves. I didn't bring a bike jacket. I didn't bring longs. I didn't bring booties, and I paid for it on the ride. I finished, but I paid for it. What about you guys? Have you forgotten? What have you forgotten? Have you ever forgotten to bring something and thought, oh, son of a...
Well, I think I would agree with you. That was that St. George Ironman that we did. And I think there was a lack of awareness on my part. You know, it's not, we had done it the year before. I had finished it. It was great. It was hot. And just not being aware that, it's like the weather can turn south very quickly. And I know you guys have addressed that on a previous podcast.
Well, but planning, right? Planning so that you don't forget.
Yeah, lack of awareness.
Yeah.
I just didn't know.
Yeah. What about you, Kirk?
I don't know. I don't know that I've. I don't think I've really ever forgotten
Haven't had a goof?
piece of gear.
What's one thing you would not forget if you were going to an Ironman?
Well, you got. Well, I don't know. The thing is that you can replace just about anything that you may end up leaving behind.
Right.
You know, I mean, unless it's something like really personal, say, like your contact lenses or something.
Right.
You know, say you've got your glasses on and you just happen to leave your contact lenses behind. That can change the dynamic of a race for somebody.
Oof.
You know, if you're used to running with your contacts in and you now all of a sudden don't have them, that's something they can't replace at the expo. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can run on new shoes. You could bike on new shoes. You can get a new helmet. I mean, you can replace just about anything.
But don't forget those critical
a personal artifact like that you race
medication.
with.
Oh man.
And that's that was relevant to me. When I first started getting into triathlon, I was only wearing glasses at the time, and so I remember, having to figure out, okay, where am I going to leave my glasses? And it was just a hassle. So that was actually part of the impetus behind actually going back to contact lenses.
Really?
I'd been away from them for years. And
wow.
I was like, I think this whole thing would be a whole lot easier if I didn't have to mess with my spectacles.
Man.
Yeah.
Well, right. I mean, so bringing it all back, planning is a huge part. Get a list. You can find the list on trygearguru.com and rungearguru.com if you got marathon lists or tri lists. Have a list. Pack ahead of time if you need to. Sleep is going to be difficult. Eat what you normally eat or eat what you've eaten for the night before races. Don't forget your personal stuff. Are we missing anything critical?
The hostess cherry pie. That's it.
Hey, Scott, thanks for joining us today, buddy. We'll have to get you on a future podcast. It's been fun to hang out.
Sure.
Hey, listen.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Oh, dude, you're the best.
Thank you.
You're the best. Hey, that's all the time we've got. Kirk and I want to thank you for joining us today. Remember, like us on Facebook at Multisport Mojo, where you can weigh in and ask questions. We'll answer them in an upcoming podcast. Thank you to everybody for watching on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. We love you. You can follow us on Twitter at #MultisportMojo. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Multisport Mojo. And go to trygearguru.com for more content and insights and great prices on everything triathlon. Running, go to rungearguru.com. Biking, go to ridegearguru.com. Swimming, you got to go to swimgearguru.com. We want to thank our sponsors, Tryhard Triathlon Coaching. Contact Tryhard on their Facebook page at Tryhard Coaching. azradio.live, your home for independent music artists. Discover them here and promote the betterment of your community. They had a killer show today. If you want to know about azradio.live, oh my gosh, amazing. Cadillac Angels. If you go there and just look at what they did today, through the roof. Big Mike's Recording Studio.
Big Mike.
Contact Big Mike's Recording Studio at azradio.live and get all the polish of a professional recording studio at a price that fits your startup budget. This is the Multisport Mojo podcast. Triathlon age group gurus doing all the homework. gathering all the insights, answering all your questions to make us faster, fitter, and fresher in triathlon and multisport training. Here to help you get from start to finish. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.